Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the new review of Reloop RP4000MK2. I did a review of Technics 1200 Mark 7 some time ago, and as I mentioned there, I am not a professional reviewer, I am user of these toys, and English is not my native language, so please bear that in mind while watching this. I've been using these reloops for about 6 years, so I know what I will be talking about. I have some experience, some feedback regarding these decks, and I would like to tell you about these decks using as a mixing devices, not listening. Well, basically both of them. For those of you who are not interested in listening whole details and just want to know are these decks are complete analog of Technics, so my short answer for you is no, they're not. And the second question, are they good for mixing? My answer will be kinda, yes and no. If this information is enough for you and you are going to leave, then thank you very much for your attention, bye bye. And for the rest of you who are still with me and want to know some more details, let's go on. As I already mentioned, the overall design looks quite similar to the Technics. The same buttons, same placement, same on-off switch, the same angle of the platter, dots, lightning tower. It even has the same mechanism as on Technics, not 7, but Mark II, for example. So quite similar. The same placement for the pitch, it's not placed here as on other decks, it's placed exactly the same as on Mark II. So basically looks like Technics, say S-shaped arm. These are not the same as, for example, Reloop 7000, 8000, Audio-Technica 140, I think Stanton 150, etc. So-called super OEMs. This is handpin, still handpin, but slightly less professional, I would say, model. Basically what you are looking at is the same as Audio-Technica 120, Pioneer PLX 500, and the rest of them with these two separate rows of strop datas, fat, not fat, fat, not fat. It's kinda different to the Technics dots design, you have to notice that. So this review will also be some sort of review of Audio-Technica, Pioneer 500, etc. So the top surface is made of metal, but it's only as a cap because the rest is plastic. As you can see here, the metal ends and the rest is plastic. It's hard plastic, basically the same as on Mark 7. Basically I prepared some sort of notes for myself. So I will go on. Buttons, yeah. The buttons look the same as on Technics, but if you will take a look closer here, you will see that the text is engraved. So even if the paint will go off, you still will have this text, while here it's simply printed and it already started to deteriorate, so after some time it will disappear completely. If you are visual nerd like me, you have to bear that in mind and maybe eliminate it somehow if you would like to keep this text alive. Tone arm, yeah, let's talk about this section. S-shaped tone arm looks the same as on Technics, but it doesn't have lifting mechanism, so you will not be able to adjust the height. But if you're not going to use any thick slip mats, I don't think that it is a big issue for you. The issue also is this. So the pivot points are slightly loose, as you can hear. It doesn't give any troubles, doesn't make any problems for me as a user, but still I think this is not a good point. And this lifting mechanism for the arm is not smooth. If I will release it, you will see that the needle will be simply smashed. You see? While on Technics, if you will do the same, it will be smooth. Cheeks. Nice. I'm not using it, so again, not an issue for myself, but you have to know it, in my opinion. The main issue here is this anti-skate mechanism, which doesn't do anything. So here I have a record without grooves, and if I will start it, now it is set to 7, so maximum. And as you can see, the needle runs toward the center. If I will set it to 0, it will be the same, only speed will be faster. So it doesn't work. While on Mark II, currently it's set to 3, and if I will start the record without grooves and put the needle, as you can see, it stays on the place. That's how anti-skate should work. If I will adjust it, the needle is going towards the center, but again, currently it's 3 again, and it doesn't move. If you want to fix it, you have to disassemble the deck and make the spring inside this mechanism slightly tighter. Then it will work, or even live without it. Okay, Platter dots have slightly different design and purpose, because they are not showing the speed of the platter rotation. They only indicate 0 position of the pitch at 45 and 33 RPM. So it's not the same as on Technics. And basically, by these dots, you can identify all the analogs of this Reloop, like PLX 500, Audio-Technica 120, and the rest, they basically have the same platter, because this platter is basically uses dots from homemade decks. So basically this is for home use mainly. But again, it has this angle similar to Technics. It's slightly recessed in the body. It's not floating above as PLX, no, as RP 7000, yeah, and 140 previous editions. What else? Yeah, my favorite part of this platter doesn't have rubber on the other side, naked metal, so it sounds like a bell. How you like that? Even if I will put slip mat and the record on it, it still sounds metal, and basically this will not absorb any vibrations as it should, but even increase them together with this plastic body. And I'm gonna demonstrate you this. So I will put the needle on the record on Reloop. I will do the same on Technics. Here is my mixer. I will set both channels to maximum, and as you can see, trim is set to 11, so identical. Now I am gonna hit both records at the same place, around start stop button. So we're gonna start with Technics. Take a look. So it's about 4, and you can hear it, right? 4, 5. Now I'm gonna do the same here. You hear that? This is the absorption, so-called. I'm hitting the bottom of Technics. It even detects the vibrations from Technics. Take a look. Both channels active. If I will hit this surface, you see Technics doesn't detect it, but yeah, slightly. But this doesn't absorb at all any vibrations, so this is how it sounds. So you have to bear that in mind if you're gonna use them with a lot of bass in your room. What else? If you are not a DJ and would like to use this deck as a tool to digitize your vinyl collection, for example, and your records are not dance music on maybe some classical pieces with a lot of silent places, then again not a good option, because I'm not sure will you be able to hear it, but the motor, while it spins, it's producing low frequency sound, something like do 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 do, and on silent passages of the records you will start to hear it after some time. I think it's even can be heard right here. So this is also some sort of an issue with this. And then our main event of this review, this thing, pitch. So if you are a DJ who plays, for example, trance, techno, maybe house, and you prefer long transitions like 60 seconds or even 90 seconds, and you would like to sync your tracks precisely, good luck with these devices, because pitch here is quite inaccurate. It's digital and the steps are quite big. So I draw primitive example of how analog pitch works on Technics and here. So here is the analog, as you can see, from -80 and then +5, it's linear and it has infinite amount of values in between, but on digital it changes in steps. So you are moving your pitch like this and nothing happens for some time, then it's like fastly jumps to the next position, again nothing happens, again jumps to the next position. So basically, while synchronizing your tracks, quite often, not always, but quite often, you will face an issue that your tracks, next track that you are trying to synchronize, is going slightly slower than you want. You increasing your pitch, nothing happens. You still increasing your pitch, and now your track starts to go slightly faster than you need. Again, it's slightly faster, but it's not at the same speed as you wanted. So it's going either slightly slower, either slightly faster. And you will not be able to sync it precisely. So while transitioning, while mixing, you will end up using one hand. You will mix your tracks with one hand, and with second hand you will pitch bend during the whole transition, and it might be really annoying. I have few mixes recorded with video on these devices. I will put a link for you if you want to see them in action. The same applies to the previous model 2000 Reloop RP4000, because 2000 is basically the same, but its motor is has slightly less torque. So basically the only change in this construction is torque of the motor, but the rest is absolutely the same. So for example here, if I'm placing my fingers on the record, as you can see, Platter is still moving. On RP2000 it will stop, it will be like this. So to start the record, it would be better actually to place your finger on the platter itself and start it from here instead of here. And basically that's the only thing you have to bear in mind, and you will be able to use them. So let's go to the conclusion of this review. While reviewing techniques, I had the main idea that it's not good device for its price, but these cost you about 380 euros piece. So Technics currently costs you about 1000 euros. So you on 1000 euros you can buy 2 decks. It will be about 800 euros or even less, and you will still have 200 euros for budget mixer. So basically the complete setup for the price of one Technics Mark 7. And my opinion is that these are not good, but these are not bad at the same time. They basically are fine if you know what you are going to deal with and what you're expecting from them. If your transitions are not going to be long enough, if you are going, for example, to mix pop music, some hip hop maybe, Italo dance or something like that, or you are not accurate, like precision maniac like me, and you're not going to synchronize your tracks precisely, fine, why not? They are still usable. If you're not going to digitize your collection, again, if you're not using a really heavy bass amplifier and speakers at your home, you will not face any vibration issues. I mean, serious vibration issues. So I've been using them 6 years, mixing on them heavily. Fine. These are compromise everywhere, but kinda usable. If you're a beginner, I think it's good option for you to start. At least you will be able to understand how to beat match, how to use vinyl in general, and then if you are going to move forward, you will be able to buy something serious or even stay with them. So just keep in mind all these points and do decision yourself. Thanks for your attention. Bye.